In February this year, Spectus was sold by the Latin Group to the My House Group. Ian Blackhurst, the CEO of My House Group, talks to the Glazine about what happened behind the scenes.
We're a very ambitious group, and I'm a very ambitious individual. You know, our objective as a group and as a collective group of business managers is to grow this group to £500 million turnover. We're presently at 200 million. We've had some very steep gradient growth in the last 18 months. Last acquisition of which was Spectus. I think it's commonly accepted that Spectus has probably punched beneath its weight. It's a very, very strong brand. It's been around for 27 years. It's part of the heritage of the industry in this country, and you know, we don't feel that the brand has maybe fulfilled its potential.
Why was control over the running of Spectus handed to the My House Group when only 40% of the company was sold? Because it seems as though Brian Kennedy wasn't making the sort of money from Spectus that he wanted.
I think Brian approached me because he felt that there's more that could be done with Spectus. He's worked with me for a long time, for 20 years. He knows my team in the My House Group very well. And part of the process of going through the due diligence with Brian is if we thought we couldn't improve Spectus as an organisation, we wouldn't have invested in it.
And how is the merger now progressing? Are you where you want to be with the company?
We set ourselves some quite hefty targets when we bought the business, or we bought a share in the business, and I think it's fair to say that, you know, it's our second quarter of ownership now, and I believe we've exceeded our expectations. You know, we've recapitalised the business, we've built up more stock. I think quality, service and communication is much better, and you know, people will say maybe I'm jaundiced because one of my businesses is still a customer of Spectus, but definitely the information coming from that business is that on time in full is better, quality is better, and communication is certainly better from Spectus now with the incumbent team.
Specifically, how have you changed the way that Spectus operates?
We had a parachute management team that we could immediately drop in there that had an awful lot of skill. Some of the big changes we've made, I think, procedurally and process driven in the factory, is a lot tighter. As a result of running a more efficient factory, you can drop your cost base. I think, well, I don't think I know that administratively there was too much money being spent, so we've tightened that up an awful lot. The business was undercapitalised, so we've injected money into to fill the silos and to fill our logistics hub. We have less people. You know, there had to be a process of redundancy to safeguard the majority of people. And I think the employees of Spectus have responded very well over the last few months.
Ian explained that it is his strategy to get a hands-on feel for a company and to put people he trusts into positions of senior management. However, despite any redundancies, fresh appointments are on the cards.
Over the coming period, that there'll be, you know, some announcements where we fuse the board and we make the appropriate appointment. There's always change in management when you buy a business, because that's the way we like to do it. You know, we like to bring our own people in that have been specifically recruited for the task, and we're at a point now with Spectus where we should be making some fixed appointment.
Ineos, Spectus's PVC supplier, hit the headlines last month after a fire at the company's Norwegian plant threatened supply and to increase wholesale prices. I wanted to know how this affected the relationship between the two companies.
I'm a great believer that any relationship has to be 50-50. If it gets out of kilter where one has 75% and the other, it doesn't have longevity. And I don't think Spectus' relationship with a lot of suppliers was at 50-50 for varying reasons. Spectus had the upper hand with some, and the suppliers had the upper hand with some. But part of our procurement objective is to make sure the relationships are fair and balanced. And I think we're getting to that point with Ineos. It's very difficult when their plants go down, when you are so reliant upon that one product. We have, you know, as the industry knows, we have a sole agreement with Ineos that we respect. You know, we like that type of partnership where we put our eggs in one basket, and hopefully we get that type of loyalty in return. But we're still fresh into a relationship. It's only 6 months old. You're probably better asking me another 6 months. But we're happy with the way that's progressing.